past that time, because I went on and saw the time was pushed. I was just saying that I was on, my face was showing. But when I realized I was going to sleep, I said, let me just close this thing so I could snore for about
Well,
5
you're
minutes.
welcome to be on mine anytime. I love your face. So yes, I be trying to get Mark to get on here live, but he will not show his face for nothing. Like, I don't want to be the only face up there. Come on now, I want to bring the tribe in. Come on now, I want to bring the tribe in. Come on now, I want to bring the tribe in. Oh wow, that's an echo.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
Wow, that's an echo.
Yeah. Mark, you need to get in here to help.
Okay, I don't know why that's doing that. I gotta fix that. Okay, I don't know why that's doing that. I gotta fix that. Maybe it's too loud. Maybe it's too loud.
I wonder if I should leave and come
it's
back.
Something with the loud. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Something with the
I'm gonna leave and come back.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave and come back. Okay. Hello, everyone. Come on in. The topic tonight is cell phone, social media. How are you about cell phone usage and your man or woman going into your cell phone? How do you feel about that? You're in a relationship and you decide that you want to be in a relationship with someone and give them access to your phone and your social media accounts. Now, I did that once. I let someone have access to my social media and they were able to pick up my phone at any time. Now, I did it because I wanted to establish trust because of my experiences with social media and people being online, talking to me online and, that person seeing something they didn't like. So I call myself just giving them access to my social media and giving them access to pick up my phone at any time. Hello, Ali. Thank you for coming. And Mariella, she's probably going to come back real soon. The beautiful Mariella. There she is.
Hello, Levy.
There she is. And I was explaining the topic tonight with being about cell phone usage with your spouse or loved one. Are they allowed to go through your phone? If so, why or why not? Also, I was explaining my experience with this and what went wrong and what was okay. Mm-hmm. I allowed the person that I was dating, because of my experiences with cell phones and social media, whenever they would see somebody click on something or like something of mine, they would have a fit about it because they equated that like to being something personal to me, that, I was engaging with that person. So that's why they like so many of my pictures or comments or, posts. So the next relationship, I decided, since I've had this problem continuously, I'm going to allow the person to, if you want to pick up my phone, see what's going on in it, you're welcome to it. You want to see what's in my social media, I'll connect you to it. I don't have anything to hide. That's where I thought was helping my situation. Well, I didn't have access to his. I wasn't allowed to pick up his phone and look at it and social media. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not tripping about it. I'm trying to establish trust myself. So if he doesn't want that, me disturbing his privacy or whatever, fine, cool, whatever. But the problem is that I didn't have anything to hide, but he did. So looking back on it, I'm like, well, was it worth it for me to try to prove something I haven't proven I was going to do? Or, you know, was it worth it? Because either way, if that other person is not on board with the same notion of trust or establishing trust through social media or the phone, then why would it matter? Because if they're not going to give me access to their life like that, then why am I doing it? So my whole, now if I get into a relationship now, and that person wants to, you know, have access to it, so be it. But this time I need to have access to yours, because if it's not equal, there's no need for us to go there. And I'm okay either way. But, you know, that was my experience. So what was your, give me your experience, and Ali, please chime in. Mariella.
So let me see. So I've never been someone who, as I posted in your on Facebook today, I've never been someone who had the time, the wherewithal to look through somebody's anything,
Right.
phone bills, whatever. One time I so someone I was married to,
Okay.
um um was involved with someone, and I didn't even know, and it was probably going on for a long time. I didn't even know. I had a suspicion because one morning I woke up and I just didn't feel like leaving, um
Mm-hmm.
to leave to work on time for work on time. It
Okay.
was snowing outside or whatever, and this woman called, and I knew it was a woman. You know how we have our sixth senses. I knew it
Yeah.
was a woman because the phone rang and then it hung up. So I
Hmm.
answered it the second time, and the person called at the exact time I would have left for work and taken the kids, dropped the kids off or whatever. But it was a
Of course.
snowstorm, so I was moving slowly. And as soon as the phone rang the second time, I was like, okay, there she is. So I picked up the phone, and she was
Mm-hmm.
real nervous. Hi, my name is such and such and such and such. And I just said it. She was real nervous. So, okay. So I got the message. So that's when I said, based on how he reacted to her, because he made it clear that I was staying home in this
Mm-hmm.
conversation, that's when I said, let me go look at my phone bill, right? And this is going back like a long
Yeah.
time. Let me go
Okay.
look at the phone bill. And that's when I realized that they had been on the phone in the middle of the night. I mean, for hours and hours. But prior to that, I, and even after that, I don't. Now, the person that I've been involved with for the last 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
we don't look at each other's phone, but if the phone happens to ring or if something is going on,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a big deal if I grab the phone now or if he grabs my phone.
Right.
Um, but I do use the notes feature in my
Mm-hmm.
phone, and I use it to write private thoughts. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the thoughts may be related to something that transpired between my partner and I.
Okay.
And I'm kind of trying to work it out in my mind. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily want him to see that. Um,
Okay.
but I have his code. I know how he has my code, and I have, yeah, and it's very easy. My code is his birthday, and
Right.
his code is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my birthday, it's his daughter's birthday. But the point is that there's an element of respect, of mutual respect.
Right.
I told him I loved him. He believes that I love him. So he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to go fishing through, because we're very grown and sexy in our
Yeah.
relationship. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Love that.
yeah, we don't really do that. But I can say though that anytime there's an inkling I feel for someone, because we say I love you, and
Mm-hmm.
as women we say I love you and whatever, but I feel that a lot of times in relationships, men and women, but as a woman I could speak for where I've been in my life. We say we love you, but then we're looking for reasons to prove that it's not true.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, the reason why people get obsessed with let me see this, let me see that, because you're looking for reasons for it
Mm-hmm.
not to be true. The minute you find, when you find someone you like,
That's a good point, Mariella.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you?
Ali says, I don't need to have access to phones or social media. If I can't trust you, I just don't need to be with you. I don't force it. If I'm naive to a situation and catch my significant other doing something they shouldn't do, I just have to say they're lost. But every situation is unique.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying that what you don't know won't hurt you. Hi, Dre.
Hey,
And how do you feel about this subject, Dre?
I mean, I believe I came in on the ass end of it. So, is y'all talking about going through your
Yeah.
partner's phone?
Yeah. Do you feel like it should be allowed? Why? If so, why? And have you had an experience where it was a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, any experience I ever had with somebody going through my phone would have been a bad thing.
Okay.
And me personally, I'm not going through no phone. I believe in the rule of thumb: if you go looking for something, you're gonna definitely find it.
Of course.
And I don't be wanting to find nothing. And to me, I believe it's like a trust thing. Like she spoke on earlier. If if I trust that you with me and you're not doing nothing else, I don't need to go to your phone. And if you give me a reason to believe it, then that's something I got to deal with. On the fact that it's going to have to be proven. You're going to have to make a mistake. I'm not going to go look for it,
Right.
because then you'll find it. But I'm with the whole privacy thing. Like, even though we together, you still want to respect somebody's personal space.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they, have access to it, you it's just having it, but not really using it.
Right.
So I don't know. So
And
me personally,
I think that's what I was saying is that, as long as I can, as long as the option is open for me, I'm okay. Because if I feel like the option is open, then why do I need to go in it? I think
exactly.
sometimes we get more mad because the option's not open to us, and I think Mariella was saying that, yeah, I have his password, he has mine, but what's the purpose of doing it when I got everything I need, really?
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I had a situation that happened with my ex December 31st. And he had pictures in his phone. He might be watching me, but yeah, I'm gonna tell you a story. Um, he had pictures in his phone of him kissing his ex. Tongue kissing. I mean, tongue. After he had came home. And I didn't get mad. I actually just threw the phone on the bed and said, "Oh, y'all look good together. It looked like y'all having a lot of fun." And it was, like I said, it was just ironic that you left that in the phone, knowing that I looked through that I have access to your phone. So again, like you said, and I happened to come across it. It wasn't something I was looking for.
That's what I was
He's
going
taking
to
pictures of my
ask.
grandkids' shoes, getting ready to put, sell them on offer up. And I'm scrolling trying to look at the pictures I just took. And here, there he is kissing this woman. So it was just, like, no, I'm good. I'm good on that.
Well, I had a situation where me and a person wasn't even together.
Mm-hmm.
And they like went through my phone while I was asleep.
Ooh.
And
Classic.
like something like that should be like a huge big red flag, right?
Yeah.
but see, at that time, and for whatever reason, I still don't know today, but I just kind of overlooked it.
Right.
And what did I do that for?
How did she handle it?
Well, she handled it the way she handled it. Like at that point, we wasn't together.
Okay.
So, okay, so by me
So how
knowing
did you feel? How did you feel when y'all weren't together? How did that make you feel? Strange, somebody that just randomly decided to go through your phone, because that's happened to me before.
the reason, and that's the thing, like a normal person or you in your normal mind, you're gonna think like red flag, this person just like, overstepping their boundaries already.
Right.
But
doing too much.
But at my point, what I was getting at is that I ignored it. I actually like realized it, like, wow, she went through my phone. And then it just was like, okay, whatever. Because at that time, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about how good she looked and all of that. And that was like a big ass fucking mistake because eventually we end up getting in a relationship. And eventually I did some dumbass shit like move out my house and move in with her. And it was just like one of these things where it was like I did way too much and I had the warning signs in the beginning.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you had all the warning signs.
And then like how the stuff that you saw 2 months, 3 months prior to this, you try and throw up in my face. Like you went through a phone that you weren't even supposed to. And at that time we wasn't even together.
Right.
So I look at things like that is like sometimes people just have trust issues.
Oh, definitely. It all boils down to that. Yeah. Past trauma will make you do stuff that you probably wouldn't want to do, but something just makes you want to just see. Let me see what he doing. Let me see who he talking to. Is he talking to her like he talking to me? Is he online flirting with her like he flirts with me? We just want to see. Curiosity killed the cat. I believe that.
And you saying that in women or just human beings, period?
Just human beings, period. Because I've had I've had exes do that to me. And I've had someone that I was just seeing go through my phone. And I'm like, why are you going through my phone? And we're just seeing each other. This is new.
Right.
We haven't even established what this is right now, but you're going through my phone. And he asked me, well, who are you talking to online? I thought that was so intrusive. Like, why does it matter?
Especially
because what I'm doing online and, what I'm doing with you is two different things. But if somebody was flirting with me for months ago and you bringing up something that happened months ago, how is that? How do you make sense of that? How did that make sense in your head to even approach me about that?
Was he controlling outside of that? Yeah,
very.
That tends to those tend to go hand in hand, and then from controlling, then it usually leads to abuse when people are obsessed with phones and what you do. I got to see what because that's not logical. That's not grown and sexy to be mad at somebody because of their mad at someone because someone liked their picture on social media and to be checking up on you and not leave that for the teenagers. And even then I wouldn't want my son to be doing that, but you could understand it then, but not as seasoned adults 20 plus and above. There's so that, and once that person shows any signs of control, having controlling energy towards you, especially as a female, you got to run.
Right.
So that looking through phones and stuff like that, it can be a little innocent, but I actually think that's kind of serious. And I think somebody said something like that too. As soon as you pick up someone, what does it say, Natasha?
Yeah, Sean says, as soon as you pick up someone's personal phone, it's over, regardless, because you will find something you shouldn't have seen.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and and then sometimes it don't even have to be. It don't even have to be the current. It can be something in the past that
Yeah,
just
that's what
some
happened to
people,
me.
and they just can't handle it. But that goes to show that's just like people going through trauma stuff. Like you know, uh, this particular woman that I'm talking about, like she was like so used to being treated like I'm gonna say pretty much like shit that she just thought everybody was. Like if I go buy me something to wear, you know, and I just buy you something to wear too, just because that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a peace offering for some shit that I done did. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that's because that's what happened to you in the past. Like whenever somebody did something good for her, or she felt that somebody was just doing too much, it's because they covering up for something that they did. And I'm
Oh
like, no,
wow.
that's just what real men do, or that's just how a man is. But
Right.
some people don't be used to that type of stuff, and they don't even know how to handle it. And it's
Yeah.
like wow, I
And
thought just
that
buying
is
somebody
It's
a
trauma.
gift.
disheartening.
Yeah, it's like I thought buying somebody something unexpectedly is just saying that you're thinking about them.
Right.
Not just because you then covered up because you fucking off. Like wow.
Right. Brother Dawood.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to have you on. What can you add to this?
Well, here's the thing though. So we're talking about giving somebody passwords to your device so they can see your social media as well as see your like everything that happens on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to me, so let me start off by saying this. I think that in a lot of situations we don't establish what is your reasonable expectation of monogamy. You know what I'm saying? So we don't
Mm-hmm.
really draw out. We just assume that everybody knows what monogamy means to us, and what it means to us should mean the same thing to everybody else.
Right.
And when when that person doesn't read our mind and they continue on with their version of monogamy, and you have your version, I think that that's where they have what I call conflict in relationship. So with that as the foundation, I think in a lot of ways, also based on more trust or less trust, monogamy changes over the course of time between a couple. Because you can still
True.
be in a relationship with somebody and expect to not go outside the relationship, but that person don't trust you. So they're more so trying to investigate your stuff. Or they may, so I give you for instance, as I've been stating on my Facebook page, like I got out of a 10, 12-year relationship, about a year and a half ago. And it
Okay.
was with my children's mother. And
Okay.
me and my children's mother, we got a great friendship and relationship. It's just that we know we ain't never gonna be together. So the
Mm-hmm.
funny thing about it is that um the last maybe 7 years, all of her text messages would not show up on her screen. When how I knew the relationship was really over is that one day I came over there and I started seeing text messages pop up on the main screen. So you know how basically you can get a text and it don't show up on your main screen or whatever. You got to open your phone to see it. I was over
Okay.
there
Yeah.
one day and it's just like how like basically you just like the human mind is so powerful. It's used to certain things, and then when there's a change, it lets you know there's a disturbance.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was in the I think I was in the living room with her doing something with my children. I look over in the phone and I see a message come up, and I'm like, oh shoot, you got messages, so you was always hiding. You see what I'm saying about how monogamy changes?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like now that I'm out of your life, you can now have your messages pop up on your phone again. But when I was with you, it had to be secret. And I think that that is one of the main problems in these relationships is we number one don't we don't iron out what monogamy is in the beginning, and number two how it changes over time based on trust or lack of trust. So for
Right.
me, one of the things that I really try to follow is what I don't know is not going to hurt me. And I don't want to know what's going on in your phone. I don't want to know what's going on in your social media account. I don't need to be crazy like that
Yeah,
because
choose to
I
be
know
happy.
that exactly. That's something I don't want to worry about. I don't want to worry about like when I finally settle down again. I think that the woman that I settle down with is going to be so beautiful on the inside and outside. There's going to be a lot of dudes that's going to want to holler at her. I don't want
Right,
to be trying to control that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the guy that's constantly saying, "This guy loved your post. This guy liked your post. This guy calls you beautiful. This guy calls you queen." I don't want to go through all of that. Likewise, let's be very honest. I'm a leader in the community. I'm a person that has some kind of status. There will be women that will do the same thing to me. It doesn't mean that I'm in their inbox. It doesn't mean that I'm in their city blowing their back out. It just means that
right,
they have an admiration for me. But if you magnify it and you turn it into something else, it's going to cause a problem between me and you. So
right.
I'm not really in favor of being a Facebook friend with a person that you are dating. Definitely not a person that you're in love with, because love changes things. And the
Right.
thing about love is love magnifies insecurity, love magnifies jealousy, it magnifies envy, it magnifies all of that stuff. It would be
Mm-hmm.
one thing if I had a reasonable admiration for you and I was like, man, you beautiful, you this, that, and the next thing, blah, blah, blah. We in love now? Not only
Mm-hmm.
we in love, but we in love and we having really good sex. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Man, please, that shit gonna drive you crazy. And every little thing somebody says, you're gonna take out of context and be like, yo, why did they say this though? I'm like, they was asking if I drank water today. Be like, no, no, but these bitches out here, they ain't worried about your water. What they really worried about is, the love magnifies it. You really can't blame that person
Right.
for going
And
But
on
far
top of
different
but you know
because
what? You know what, brother? I don't mean to cut you off or nothing, but to come back at that is like either you gonna reassure somebody because people mind do play with them,
mm-hmm.
and it's up to you to ensure that person. But I want to go back on something that you had mentioned on earlier,
Mm-hmm.
like
But that could be tricky too, though, Dre. You're trying to reassure. Do you want to spend all your life trying to reassure every little
no
comment
no
that
no
comes
exactly,
up?
no,
exactly, which
but
which is
but
a
no
huge waste of
no
energy.
no
Mm-hmm.
but if somebody feels some type of way about a certain situation,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have no problem explaining you that that's not it. And I
Right.
don't have to get it. I don't have to be in the situation to where I'm getting mad or it's irritating me about it. But this is what I
Mm-hmm.
want to say as far as like, being having a woman. Like I'm just like you, man. I like my women real pretty, whatever, however. And I don't. To me, it don't bother me if somebody try and holler at my woman or whatever or nothing like that. But the thing is, how do they react to it?
Right.
Like somebody might be liking your post and saying whatever. What is your reaction to it? You know,
Mm-hmm.
how do you take it? Is it just a like, or do you see a comment and then a like to that comment? You know what I mean? It's just how, to me, how people react to certain things. Like I'm gonna give you the opportunity to say whatever, because I have been with women, and disrespectful as it is, I done had men try to talk to women that I've been with.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Like, and I'm gonna give you the
And
opportunity to shut that down. You know what I mean? Me
right,
as a man, I
right.
she's
don't even
gonna
look
be,
at
if she's beautiful, she's gonna be shutting it down for the rest of her life.
and
Well,
that might be
that's what I'm
that might
saying.
be
This this is what I'm saying, and I hear what you're saying, but how much reassuring can you do? Because I've been in situations where there's not enough reassurance in the world, and you keep saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Listen, I don't even
it,
know this
it, it
person."
all starts,
You know what
it
I'm saying?
starts and ends with us. We have to understand, if you're with somebody, and you have to make sure you're with the right person that can handle the attention that you get, or you can handle what that attention that they get, because it's not going
somebody
to
else.
stop.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly,
And
exactly. Well,
You know,
I did want to kind of
social
I did
media, and is one part of what people go through. You should, when you walk out the door, or you go to the store, the club, or the hospital where you work at, you are always dealing with somebody that wants your attention. So
Right.
either you're going to be confident that that person loves you and only you, and that people are just saying they're just trying to get their attention, or you're going to be forever.
Or you gonna react to every little thing, or you know what I mean?
Well, listen. Let me. But you did cut me off, and I was trying to finish. What I was going to say is that it's cool. It's cool. First of all, and I do agree with you that you do have to reassure your partner, whether you're a man or woman, and if you love them, you would reassure them. However, it comes a time where you may have a certain person that's above and beyond that, and you can't reassure them. To me, I think that if you really want somebody that's committed to you and only you, you have to choose somebody that is tired of playing games.
There you
And
go.
that is kind of hard because a lot of people still want to play games in their 50s, their 60s, and their 70s. To me, being in this dating world that I'm in now, what I'm finding out is the biggest obstacle to connecting to somebody is their past. That's the biggest obstacle, because so many of, I don't deal with men, I deal with women, but I would say probably as men and women, but so many of these women have had such horrible experiences in the past that when they deal with the dude that's remember, I come from the Nation of Islam paradigm. So I'm a trained gentleman. You know what I'm saying? I get the door, I get your coat, I pay for the bill, all of that stuff. And a lot of times what ends up happening is, if a woman has been through nothing but bad experiences with either street niggas or low down dirty niggas, when I come through, they want to redeem themselves through me, which means now it's time for me to get all the treatment that I didn't get from none of these low class dudes. So to me, the biggest obstacle I have is their past, because that's one of the things I deal with. And another thing I deal with is all of the triggers from the stuff that other dudes did to them. Now I got to deal with. So if you do anything even close to what another dude did, then they're going to say, well, I heard what you said and I did this and I did that. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I told you that, this, that, and the next thing. And they say, yeah, but one of my exes, and when soon as you hear that, then you're dealing with somebody's past. And I always tell people, any woman that I deal with, I always tell women that I do it. I say, listen, because they say, you got to give me some time because I've been hurt. And I tell them, if you hurt, don't fucking date. It's just that simple.
Go.
Oh my God, say that again. Please say that one more time.
I mean, no, I ain't gonna even lie. You just bust it down, like,
don't
and
date.
and I believe that's what a lot of single men, that's just like real men, that's just kind of like facing right now, is like that. Like you said, they trying to redeem it through you, like, it's get back time. Like, wait, hold on, you get back on them niggas.
Right.
That's
right,
what
brother.
you need to get back at them niggas, for real.
Right. And that's what I'm like, listen, I'm not those guys, and I cannot take back what they did to you. But at the same time, I'm not going to wait for you to not get triggered by what you think that I'm going to do that they would do. And I also, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, what I learned is that I don't have to spend a lot of time talking about how I'm not somebody else, because that's a huge waste of time for you to be sitting there trying to convince somebody.
I mean, the way you move, the way you move and how you are gonna automatically speak that this is not him, But
right,
it's just these days now.
But
tough.
Yeah, but you always got to remember though, so many of us have had the same relationship with like 5 or 10 people. So if you've had the same relationship with like 5 or 10 people and it's been all negative, you are looking for that same relationship in your next relationship, unfortunately. And that's one thing my mentor always tells me, is that until we really heal, we're going to have the same relationship through other people. So I think that unhealed people, when you deal with unhealed people, they're absolutely looking for that other person to show up in you. They just don't know when it's going to happen. And when it never happens and they kind of destroy the relationship, then basically they say, well, I knew I was wrong, But and it's like, well, why did you even bother? Why did you waste my time? So I think
Right.
that what my responsibility is, what I realize my responsibility is identifying if you're ready to date. You know what I'm saying? When I deal with somebody. Before, it was like you said earlier, big brother, when you said I was just focused on how she looked or whatever. Now I'm focused on, are you ready to date? When I go on the first
Right,
date, I start
right.
asking
Yeah,
questions.
me too.
I'm trying to determine, are you healed and are you ready? Because you may be
Are you ready?
beautiful and you may have a nice personality, but you may not be ready to date because you may still have not gone through what you should have gone through in order to overcome your past. And if you haven't overcome your past, it doesn't matter how much I like you. And unfortunately, me and you have talked about this before, sister, but being a Scorpio, we're very romantic and we like to deal based on potential, unfortunately. So we'll get with somebody and say, damn, based on your personality, me and you could go here, here, and here. And we'll be jumping months ahead, not realizing this person ain't even ready to jump on, first base yet. And so for me, I think that is my responsibility. My responsibility is to identify if you're ready to date and then get my black ass out of it as fast as possible if you aren't. And what I've experienced is a lot of women don't like that. They don't like when you determine that they're not ready to date, and they be like, "Well, you know what I'm saying? I think you should give me a
Yeah,
chance." And I'm
men
like, "I'm
don't
not
like it
giving you a
either.
chance." Oh, I know. We
A lot of
really
men
suck at
don't like it
rejection, but
either. Yeah.
y'all really suck at rejection. It's funny. Like yesterday, at my class, we talked about humiliation, and we talked about what men do when they're humiliated in a relationship. And it was very like deep because these brothers were talking about how they deal with humiliation without putting their hands on a woman, because
Okay.
most knuckle dragging dudes deal with humiliation by putting their hands. Remember, I do a domestic violence class, so
Right.
most dudes deal with humiliation by putting hands on the women. How do you deal with humiliation by not putting hands on the women? And how this is relevant to what we're talking about today is what we determined is the best way to deal with humiliation is to withdraw your presence, because your presence is the most power that you got.
Yeah.
Likewise, I think that when you
Immediately.
deal with
You
somebody,
gotta do that immediately.
right,
That has
right.
to happen
So
immediately.
likewise, I think that when you deal with somebody that's not ready to date or they're unhealed, the first thing that you got to do is remove your presence, because if you keep your presence there, you are just asking for you to get damaged as much as they get damaged. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna shut up and give y'all the
And,
platform. But that's my thoughts to add on to this. And
That
and
was
by the
a
way, I
good
must say
call.
both you
That was
ladies
a
look
good
lovely tonight.
call.
Oh, thank you.
thank
Thank you,
you.
birthday fella.
Yeah, that was some good stuff, bro.
But
Um,
I go ahead, I'm Mariella.
no. Don't let me interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's a really good brother Dawood, because I think more women should definitely um start there in terms of finding out if the person is ready to date
Because we don't,
before.
some of us are not thinking, some of us think we really are ready to date right after breaking up with someone. I give myself a
Right.
year, maybe two, to
Well, you
start
know what?
dating again.
I think what it is that it's transference. I think that because we fear the pain
Mm-hmm.
of dealing with that loss, we jump right into another relationship,
Yeah,
any
Yes.
relationship,
we'll
because
do.
we want to transfer that energy and that feeling just
Mm-hmm.
to avoid having to walk through the fire of the pain.
Yeah, you
Indeed.
don't
You
want to
know?
be without it,
Indeed.
Yeah.
not
Indeed.
realizing you're out without it anyway. Because if it didn't work, you're still without it.
Yeah.
You know.
And
Right.
another thing that came to me while you fellows were talking was hurt people
That's so true.
Right.
starting with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And whether we realize it or not, if we're picking up somebody's phone against their without their knowledge, against the permission, because it is, I don't care who it is. I don't care if I'm married for 20 years. That is
Mm-hmm.
still his phone.
Right.
And
Right.
and it's my phone. So this may seem serious to you guys, but I really believe that if I'm not given permission to look at your phone, then
Mm-hmm.
I'm that's offensive. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
If if we have a neutral relation, if we have a mutual understanding, that's fine. But in these relationships, or like in your brother Dre experience, you just meeting the sister, dating her, just a few times, you haven't yet established a relationship, and she's looking through your phone. That's a violation.
Yes.
Right.
It may not
that
even
part.
have been, and it may not even have been about another woman that was in your phone. It could have been something that was personal about your life, your mother, your
Right.
children. It could have been anything. So,
Yep.
but we get so caught up in what we need. What she thought she needed was to see, let me see if I can find anything out about him, ultimately to protect herself. But in doing that, she violated you. And what I say for women, what I say to young sisters in particular is, it all goes back. One of the reasons why I don't have time and I don't have the wherewithal, number one, I just can't see. That is to me, that's such a psychosis. If I gotta be following you everywhere and doing all that, you know what? I can't do that.
Draining.
Because,
It's draining.
Right. But
Draining.
before even that, the reason why I can't do that is because I am too busy being me. I'm too busy living my best life. You know what I mean? That I don't have, if anything, you need to come and look what I'm doing, because I'm too busy living my life to be following you up on yours. Once I've established, and this is the thing, I think as women, we have to establish exactly what do we need, exactly what do we want. Look at the big picture. Look at because a lot of times we think we know what we need. We think we know what we need, but we haven't really taken out a piece of paper and said, what is my ideal day? What does my ideal day look like? What does my ideal life look like? And how does a mate fit into that? And really and truly, and this is what I love about fellas. As women, we are supposed to fulfill ourselves. And then, and no offense to you guys, hear me, and then we add the love piece into it. I think men are very good with focusing on what their needs are and then adding the woman to it. But what we do is we focus on everything outside of ourselves first, and then we try to piece ourselves into it. So of course, if you're doing it that way, of course you're doing you've developed all types of dysfunctional behaviors, such as picking up somebody else's phone and looking through it. If I got to look through it, then I need to ask you the question.
Right.
If I feel the need to do, I'd rather just ask you a question. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly. If you got to go that far, but I think a lot of people have dealt with so much trauma in their life. And when it comes down to relationships, they just don't trust when they get into one. They just, and I always want to ask the question when I see people do that. Okay, now that you know what he's doing, now what are you going to do?
Right. Fight about it, argue about it, because what that is fear. It is, my heart does go out to people who feel the need to do it, because what it is really fear. Like I said earlier, the minute you say I love you, or the minute you find someone, because I think loneliness can make you insane, and it has made me insane in the past. I've made some insane choices in a former life. So I think that because loneliness can make you insane, yes, thank you. Because loneliness can make you insane, the minute someone comes into your life, you want to make it fit. You don't even want to date.
That's deep. That's deep.
You don't even want to date. You want to make it fit. And so, but because you want to make it fit, you are now fearful of not having it, because you don't want to go back into the cesspool of loneliness.
Right.
So, but as cliche as it is, the truth is that you got to heal your wounds, like you guys are saying. You got to heal your wounds. You got to fall in love with yourself. You got to fall in love with yourself. You got to know what loving on yourself looks like. Because
Right.
when you truly know what loving on yourself looks like, you don't need to put so much pressure on another person to the point that you have to go through their phone and violate their privacy.
Yeah.
To try to make sure that they are stuck to you like glue.
Oh
And
my God.
Right.
and you don't have to worry about social media. You don't have to worry about whether when they walk down the street, somebody is giving them a compliment, because you know that for yourself, if somebody gives me a compliment, I appreciate the compliment. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like, oh, don't talk to me. I appreciate the compliment. If you think whatever, I'm going to appreciate it. But the key is you don't give that second look. You know, you can appreciate, you can be involved with someone and appreciate the beauty of another brother. A brother can appreciate the beauty of another sister and be in love with his queen, or you can be in love with your king, but and still because you're human. So you're still going to appreciate the beauty of other people, but the key is you don't give that. So when that brother says, "Hey, Latasha, you're looking really good today. You're involved with someone." You say, "Thanks, brother," but you don't go back and you know what I'm saying? And then give him
And that's
that.
what I was saying. How do they react to it? Like that's the issue of like she gonna get hey Latasha's, but how do you deal with all the hey Latasha? You know?
And you know what? I'll tell you this much. Let me hold on. Add someone else in. Miss Jasmine. Hey,
Hey,
Jazzy.
Jasmine.
Hey, how's it going?
That's my stepdaughter, you guys.
Hi, beautiful.
Okay,
Hey,
how you doing?
But
Sorry,
what I
I'm
was
working on the house.
okay. What I was saying is that I have this thing now where there was this woman. Okay, something happened. I was out to dinner with someone. And this woman, I saw her and her husband coming my way. And I saw, her looking directly at me. And what got me was before he could look at me and say anything or just have eye contact with me, she spoke. She gave me a compliment. She said, "Honey, ain't she beautiful?" I thought that was the most, I'm like, girl, go ahead. That's what I'm talking about. Take that attention away from him. Give the power to yourself, because you know what he's thinking. You know what he's looking at. You know what he like. And I always had more respect for women, and I do it myself. When I see somebody, girl, your guy looks nice, but you fine too. Cut that shit. Cut it. It's a way sometimes to deal with the tension that your mate gets. It's
So
a way to deal with it.
wait. So you have told a woman that was with her man that her man looks nice?
Yeah. But I gave her the power to say, I more gave that compliment to her. It wasn't about, because first of all, I'm going to get it off of me. I might be physically attracted to that guy, but I know that, I'm not trying to make problems from him. It just my eyes went directly to him. So if my eyes went directly to him, I know she saw it. Because I see it when I'm out with my man and some other woman is looking at him. I see it. So what I did is I gave the compliment to her.
Yeah, I guess.
Jazzy?
I agree with it. It happened to me multiple times. Females come up and give me compliments. And I asked my girl how she feel about that. And she personally said she don't care because that's a compliment to her that she got good taste. And she understands that I'm hers. So she doesn't feel threatened about anyone giving me a compliment, because any compliment towards me is towards her as well, because we're a team. Just like when she's beautiful and somebody give her a compliment, like, man, she's fine. I'm like, I know she is. I'm happy she's mine. Shit, that's a pat on my back. That's why I'm winning. Shit, that's a pat on my back. Thank you. All eyes on us.
Right. Right.
So I'm just taking something. It's not always negative. No compliment is going to be a compliment. Everyone has the right to their opinion. Rather it's the good, the bad, the ugly. Now somebody has something negative to say about her or me, then yeah, I'm going to step in and like, hold up now. She might look ugly to you, but she beautiful to me. Watch out now. That's how I
don't know. I just think, I mean, I just can't see I mean, I guess it's different for women. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know.
Let me ask you something, Dre. Would you have a problem with, okay, say for instance, one of your guys online, you know, you see a woman and this is your guy's, you know, girlfriend or wife or whatever. She's looking nice and y'all go out or whatever. Would you give her a compliment in front of your guy, or would you say something to him about it? Would you be okay with that? Because I'm pretty sure he would rather you give that compliment to him instead of saying it to his wife.
Yeah, of course.
It's the same concept.
Yeah, but that's my guy though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this ain't like somebody I just randomly seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, she fine. Hey brother, you got a fine ass girl. Like, no. You know, I might think it, you know what I'm saying, or anything, but to me that ain't something I need to be said, because ain't no telling. I just might be saying that I'm looking at her or whatever, but he might take it as a different way. He might think it as, nigga, you being respectful. You trying to show you got balls or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you finna try and take her right off my hip type shit. You know what I mean? So, know,
that's
like, you know, I can tell somebody that I can tell somebody that I'm talking, you know, like my guy, your wife and your girl or something like that. Yeah.
I think it's just as you get older, you just find ways to take off the pressure from yourself. You know, you just find ways of taking it off yourself. You know who you're with.
Right.
You know, and I'd rather, somebody saying something about somebody I'm dating online or in his, on his phone and his social media, he getting inboxes from women. Okay, I was probably that girl before he got with me. I was in his inbox too, or, whatever, however we met, I was that person before. So that attention's not going to stop because I'm with him. It's always going to be there. So I have to now look at things like that as, I don't mind the compliments now. I don't mind him getting likes. I don't mind that. I don't get bent out of shape about it no more, because I found a way to accept that I'm with somebody that's nice looking, that some other women like. And you have to find a way to accept that, because they're not going to stop getting attention, or people, they're going to be forever in their inbox telling them, I'm with somebody. I'm not finna do all of that. And I don't expect him to do all of that. Now, if there's somebody that's being directly disrespectful and they see me, we got pictures together, our kids and grew up, and you blatantly disrespecting, then yeah, I may tell him to say something then, but I'm not going to get in the inbox and say nothing to that man, say nothing to any woman's doing anything. And nor am I going to trip about it. That's your privacy, because trust me, I got my own issues in my inbox.
And that's, I kind of feel like, hey, my thing is, you handle I prefer you to handle the attention that's coming to you. You know what I mean? Like, you be the judge of that. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna give you the opportunity to show, what you think is respectful and what's not. Because me personally,
what if she feels like none of it's disrespectful? What if she likes all the attention?
But then I might have a problem. You know what I mean? Because eventually, if you liking all that attention and that's something that, you know what I'm saying, that you dig with, then eventually you might even go a little further and just say, I'm just hanging, somebody just wants to see me. You know what I mean? And then that's when it starts inching forward. Then you might not even be the person for me. You know what I mean? Because the person for me ain't gonna, you know, that attention shit don't bother them. Like you said, somebody might be in somebody's inbox that I like all the time. You know what I mean? And then at that point, like, okay, shit, I see where this is going. Like, I ain't finna leave Facebook, but my message is turned off. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to me, basically, that would be something that you choose to do. You know what I mean? And basically, I probably won't even know unless you told me. Because I told you from the beginning, I'm not going through no phone. You know, like I believe in the privacy, like you said, my personal stuff. Even if we married, it's still my phone. Just because we married, that don't mean it's our phone. And when you got a phone, you know. But
so you guys feel that in marriage things are different, or is it the same concept, Mariella?
It's the same concept when it comes down to it.
You know, what'd you say, Dre?
I said I think it's the same concept when you come down to it.
Yeah, I mean, commitment is commitment, whether it's, you know, you take it the legal route or not. If I'm committed to you, I'm married to you. You know, so I'm not, you know, I'm not interested in. Yeah, there's no difference, and I think there was something I was going to say based on what Dre said, but I forgot my train of thought. So it'll come back to me.
Yeah, in marriage, you know, I've seen social media or people let social media and their phones break them up.
Yeah.
Which is very, very, you know, it's horrific to think about because, you know, people are relentless online.
Yeah.
You know, and we've all dealt with the people that want to send you, you know, pee
crazy
pictures
stuff.
and all kind of crazy stuff. And your mate think that you're inviting that. And sometimes it's like, no, this is just what happens.
But you know what?
It's a free ground to do whatever you want to do.
For your
I think that when it comes down to it, when it comes to social media, I think the platform is different. You know, like now, if I'm in a relationship, I don't think I need to be on no dating app. So I don't even have to worry about that no more, because when I was single, I can be on the tags. When you were single, you can be on the tag. So we know what to expect from tag, you know.
Right.
I said, if I get in the relationship, I ain't got time for tag no more. You know, it's a dead issue because I know what it's about. You know what I mean? So if I stay there while I'm in a relationship, that means I'm almost inviting I already know what's coming.
Right.
And that goes for a woman. Like if you know that on tag, you know, you may have a few racy pictures, and you know that's what everybody send you, those inappropriate pictures and tell you what they gonna do to you and all of that, and now you're in a relationship and you still entertaining that, or you even the thought of that, you know, that should be
right there, entertaining it. If I'm not entertaining anything coming into my inbox or my phone, don't trip on me about it. That's my whole thing. I'm not responding to that. You know, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I think that you're either a player or you're not. You're either committed or you're not. You know what I mean? It's either, and when you're, like Brother Dawood was saying, he had to act, you know, his first order of business is to find out whether or not the woman he's interested in is ready. Right, exactly. Dateable. I think that during that process, that vetting process, so to speak, I think that that's when you find out, and your spirit knows the truth. You know, your spirit knows the truth when it hears it. And, you know, but we sometimes, you know, we might see signs and ignore it, but you know the truth when you hear it. And if somebody is monogamous, if somebody is, you know, whether they're monogamous because they've aged out of the player process, You know, they just don't have the wherewithal to do that anymore, or it's just their nature.
Right.
All that stuff is mute. Moot. Anybody could come after you. You know, women could throw themselves, but if you are only interested in being with that one person, you have your life set up. Like I was saying earlier, for us women, we are, you know, we're fulfilling our dreams. We're loving on ourselves. And, you know, so the time that we allot for love is only time for that one love.
Yeah.
And if your partner is the same way, all this stuff is, to me, everything else is child's play. You know, take my phone, don't take my phone. You know,
grow up.
It's not an issue. For me, the phone, you know, the phone should not be an issue because, you know, damn near the people that he connects with, I connect with. And this is a thing. Things may change. People change their mind all the time. You know, so I could be with someone for 10 years and that 11th year, that person his life has the trajectory of his life has changed. And I no longer may fit that bill. But I'm still not going to be looking for anything, and whatever, that is a conversation, you know. So for me, the looking at phones or not looking at phones, it's really about whether or not if we're a play, if you with a player, then okay, that you knew what you were getting yourself into. You don't even need the phone for that. You already know.
No, actions speak way louder.
You know, a lot of people do that. A lot of people get in situations knowing what they're getting in and call themselves want to change it. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Like you is not changing this person. You may have them doing something different for a second, but deep down they're gonna be them, and the person gonna absolutely be them, like you said, until they either phase out of it and don't want to do it no more. But you know, ultimately changing somebody, not gonna happen.
Right. Andrea said, let me get into just a few before we go. Isaiah says, she said, I used to go through the phones and seen a lot of things I didn't like, but I never went after the person because I went after my partner. Recently, that just happened to me. However, the woman that he is dealing with inboxes me, being very disrespectful towards me about very old messages that was sent before we established that we are going to be in a relationship with other people. She says, do not date to cover up that hurt. A broken person cannot heal another broken person. Honestly, no one should ever put their energy into that. Only that person can heal themselves. Andrea, hey Andrea, I didn't know she was on. Hey, Andrea says, good night. Me and my husband have access to each other's phones. No big whoop, doesn't mean we check up on one another.
Exactly.
Or you might need to get in that phone for something else. You know, like
exactly.
Just stop looking. You what? Just sometimes you can just choose to be happy.
No,
I'm happy. Choose that. Choose it every day.
I'm saying that, you know, having access to somebody's phone does not necessarily mean you're looking for something, but you might have to go in there and get some business or something out of it. Exactly. And I can't, you know, like
but your mind, you know, like you said earlier, Dre, your mind plays tricks on you. You pick up somebody's phone, you may not be looking for that, and then you like, let me go ahead and just see what's going on.
And that's when your mind, that's when the mind messing with you. But I'm saying, like, you know, I'm saying like if I had a phone and I had a wife, she definitely would have access to my phone. You know, like that wouldn't be an issue. Like I might be laid out somewhere or something. She might need to get something out my phone or something. You know what I'm saying? Why? What the hell? I ain't got shit to hide. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's what. But like my thing is, me personally though, like me, my belief is, I'm not going through no phone. You know, even when I'm in a relationship and for a long time, and my woman asks me to go get her purse or something, I'm bringing you the whole damn purse.
Yep.
I'm not, that's how it's raised. You know, like, I'm not going through that type of stuff. Like, I'm not going in your purse. and I ain't gonna accidentally come across a number. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, those type of things ain't gonna happen. So if you need something out your purse, okay, baby, hold on, I'm gonna bring you your whole purse.
Right.
You go win it.
Yeah.
I need somebody's number. You got somebody's number? Pick up your phone. Go on your phone. You know, it ain't the fact that I don't want to look for them, but it's just not my desire to go through your stuff. You know, like I can respect
and
that.
In a way, you're letting her know that I don't need to do all of that. Here's your purse. You know, you get it out. You know, there's a number you looking for here. You look for it. But the option, again, going back to what I was saying before, is, you know, having the option to do it frees me not to do it, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Because you got to be a damn fool.
I don't mind that mind game. Just just say, girl, I don't mind you going through my phone and my social media. Then I'm gonna be like, I don't want to go through it.
Right, and you know what? And it's like, you know, you got to be a damn fool to have some shit in your phone and give somebody access to it.
Exactly.
You know, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt to be smarter than that.
Right.
I am. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If I'm gonna let you, if you're gonna have access to my phone, what type of fool will I be to have some naked pictures, some shit I just did last night in there, some chick that I'm.
You'd be surprised how many fools are actually out there.
It is though. You know, that's why I said I'll be giving people the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
But it's actually people that really do that. Like, you know, like some of
well, I got you. Well, let me ask this question because this came up in my relationship too. Let me ask this real quick, and I'm gonna let y'all go. How do you feel about pictures from someone's previous relationship, like nude pictures, like, you know, breast pictures, them two to get them together in pornos that they filmed? How do you feel about that still being in someone's phone after you get with them?
Oh, that's a hard one.
To me, I think if I was to get a woman right now today.
I mean, videos of them having sex still in their phone. Is that allowed? Because it was before you?
To me, if you come across it, like you going through your phone, like, oh shit, this is me and so I think it's time to get rid of it. It ain't no one of them. Okay, I'm gonna keep it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you ain't went all the way through all of your pictures and videos,
going through back in memory lane
and deleting them. But if you happen to come across that shit, like, oh, damn, let me get rid of that. But I don't think, like, when I break up with somebody, that I'm gonna go through my phone and go through all of these pictures and all of these videos and delete them, because at this point, I damn near don't even want to see you again. So I definitely don't want to come across a picture.
Well, that happened to me, and this is how I felt. I don't want you at work going through your pictures, reminiscing about somebody else, and I'm here now. So take that shit out your phone.
My question to this is, how did you know they were in his phone?
Well, of course he had to give me access to his phone.
So you went looking?
Yeah.
And you found it?
Even if I didn't find it, I don't want it in his phone. If you got, okay, let me say this.
So how do you handle that situation?
Old pictures of your ex in compromising positions still in your phone, and you're dating me now, they're not in the picture no more. So what do you need to remember about them that you got to keep it there?
A lesson learned.
A lesson learned.
No. Well, let me tell you what I did. I deleted all of it.
I'm gonna ask you this though, Tasha, right quick. So say you with somebody. Okay, say you with somebody for some years or whatever, and those same compromising positions that you seen maybe from 2 years ago. How how far down your camera roll is that gonna be compared to right now? So, and my thing is this: when you break up with somebody, do you go through the procedure of deleting everything and getting rid of everything? You do that?
I do.
See,
Let me tell you why.
I know.
Let me tell you why. Because that happened to me and I saw what I saw, it didn't set well with me. So no, I didn't want nobody else to come in my life and see me with another man, because that's gonna fuck with his head. So why would I keep it there? That means that when you're not around, I might be looking at what the fuck we did when we was doing it. So I didn't want that to have.
But how's that gonna make you feel?
I want to hear what Jasmine has to say.
Relationship?
What does Jasmine have to say?
See, that's a funny one because now
Andrea says nude pics. No, I have definitely gotten rid of old pics. I have indeed.
See, all because we talk about this
That's what I'm talking about.
I know for a fact I do have old sex videos of my ex-fiance, and we was with each other for 7 years. Now I think about it, I know for a fact I still got those, and that's like 5 years ago. That's how old the videos are. But I don't go back.
How far down that camera roll is they in there?
5 years. 5
Okay,
years.
You might have to scroll
now
for 2
that
minutes.
you know that they're there, but now that you know that they're still there,
will I delete them?
How does your girl feel about them being there?
She personally don't care, because that's something I did in the past. I'm not reminiscing about it, or oh, I gotta go back and look at this video again. Like, dang, I missed that. No, we personally don't care about that. Like, she still got pictures of her ex in her phone, and vice versa. Like, we really don't care about it. It could be only reason why I personally don't care about it is because there's kids involved in the pictures as well. So, like, why would I tell you to delete that because your ex is in there? That's being petty. Because at the end of the day, I'm with you and over you.
I'm not talking about those pictures. I'm talking about
naked pictures. I most definitely have in my phone
and videos of you and that person having sex.
Yeah, I most definitely got those, but they're not hurting nobody, and I don't think about them. I ain't about to go back 5 years back then to go look at these videos again.
I'm just saying, think of the scrolling you gotta do to get to that.
Oh, like 8,000 videos.
I didn't have to go back that far because he had just got, these are pictures he just had. I deleted all of it.
But if my spouse don't want me to have them for trust reasons, if my spouse feel uncomfortable with it, then yes, I will delete them, because then I'll understand. Out of respect, I will do that.
And this is the same ex I was telling you about earlier that had the pictures of him kissing another woman.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm talking about. I knew, no, this is not. We're not starting off like this. Every time when I break up with somebody, if there's pictures of me and that person in my phone in positions where he may come across it and make him uncomfortable, I take it out. Put it on a flash drive, put it under the bed, stuck to the cabinet in the sink.
Why you keeping it at all?
But you know what? Can I say?
Because it ain't sure that I'm gonna be with this nigga.
Oh, so you having second thoughts. You can't have second thoughts.
See, there they go that plan B stuff that women
That's that plan B. You can't do plan B. You have to do plan A.
No.
Right.
Two things. One, okay, if you do break up with the person that you're involved with, there might be regrets that because this is the thing, it's a part of your past.
Right.
And everything about your past, and I hear you, Andrea, about getting rid of your old pics. You're married, been married for a long time and all that great stuff. So I get that with you, Andrea. However, the other thought process is that everything that happened in my past contributes to who I am today.
Right.
And there are aspects of that person. It may not be nude pics. It may not be nude videos. I'm not saying you shouldn't keep them. I don't have an opinion either way. But my ex-husband threw away a picture that really meant something to me of someone that I was in love with when I was in my early 20s. And that person there was something about that relationship that contributed to my life. So I always wanted to remember what he looked like. You know what I mean? I wanted to remember him. I didn't want to dismiss him out of my life.
Right.
And I would have liked, I didn't throw it out. He threw it out. You know what I mean? So when I think about that, when I think of it that way, I kind of can see why it doesn't have to dishonor your mate in any way. And I agree with you, Jasmine. If your mate says get rid of it, then, you know, that's a conversation. But for me, my demands on, in fact, I have a picture of my fella and his wife when they were first married, because they were like 19 or 20 and 21, and they were the cutest. You know, you could see how they were so young and bright-eyed and full of life and full of excitement. And that picture of them makes me happy to see what, you know, who they are now. They have two beautiful
nostalgia type pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's in my phone. You know, it's something that I would like to, it belongs somewhere. It's just such a classic picture in their 70s outfits or whatever, 80s, I don't know. But
yeah, that's grown up things you're doing, Mariella. I was doing, you know, adolescent stuff, you know.
And I was just thinking, like, she said, it's like, so, you know, even though this situation may did something to you at this time, this picture was taken, do that mean, like, she talking about compromising position? Do that mean, like?
Yeah, I mean, nostalgia pictures, I understand that, because that's a story. I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that, you know, if I open up his phone and there's a picture, there's a video of him having sex with another woman, she's going down on him.
Yeah.
That's gonna mess with me, especially if I don't do it like she do it.
Right. Hey, study that video then.
There you go. You said there's a training tool.
Then delete it when you master it.
Hey, that's a point. That's a point, Jasmine. That's a point. And thank you, Andrea.
It's a good point, but you know, I just had I you know, today, you know, me today, it probably wouldn't bother me. But at that time, I was like, I don't know about you having this in your phone, and especially we making videos too, and we making pictures like this too. I'm gonna go up against her. No, I don't. I want to be the only competition in this phone.
That's natural to feel that way. That's real. That's real.
You know, I'm special sometimes.
That's natural to feel that way. I hear you.
Andrea says,
"Hey, you might go in your phone right now and go all the way to the bottom of your camera roll, and it might be a picture from 2004. That's of one of them pics you got, that one of them penis pics you got. That you like, I'm keeping this one, and that boy been buried for 10 years, 12 years.
I have never kept, first of all, I've never kept a penis picture, not even of the man that I was with, because my kids go through my phone and they, you know, they have access to my pictures. And I don't want my kids to ever be looking at me like, Mama, what the heck is this? You know, you know what? That's happened to me before. I ended up trying to send a picture of me and him to his phone, and forgot that my daughter's phone, that I wasn't looking at the text, and ended up sending it. So yes, Tasha don't have pictures like that no more.
Ooh.
You know what? One thing I just don't do, and I got 3 daughters. I don't have any sons, but one thing they didn't do is they couldn't play with daddy phone. No, you can't play with daddy phone.
Yeah, see, I got a 2-year-old granddaughter that's very smart.
Yeah, they very smart too, but you gotta have, you play with anybody
stuff
else
like that needs to be in a file somewhere. Put it in a file somewhere where it's not accessed.
What do they call those extra drives?
Yeah, put it somewhere. You know, you can have them memories. You know, put it in a box, a treasure chest or something under the bed, but don't put it in your phone where that has to be something that I may come across for whatever reason I'm in your phone.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, that's just a question I wanted to ask because, you know, we were talking about it. So I just came up. So, but I want you guys to join me Saturday because we are going to talk about tantric sex versus just sex.
Yeah, I have to look
Do
up.
you
I saw
know?
that Andrea looked up tantric. I don't know what it means.
Yes, look up the word. You probably already having it.
Okay.
Yes.
TANTURE.
TANTRIC. Tantric sex.
Tantric.
Yes, and come and
Oh, there's
let's
a
talk
tantric
about it
yoga, I
because there
see.
is a difference between that and regular sex.
As you said, it's a difference.
Mm-hmm. It's actually something that should go hand in hand, but if you don't know what tantric sex is, you don't know if you're having it or not. It's a spiritual connection to the person you're with that enhances regular sex.
Okay, yeah, because I got a whole spiel on sex, like, and it's something like that because the thing about it is how people emotions be involved in sex, and sometimes that be the driving force to people acting a fool when they're in a relationship.
We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
We're gonna go into all of that and how at some point you could mess somebody up when tantric sex is involved.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Okay, now
so y'all join me. I enjoyed talking to you guys so much.
Yeah,
spell it again.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna end the live. It's 8:51. So Saturday I will send out another reminder, you guys, and around the same time, Saturdays about 7:10, 7:15.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
All right. Nice meeting you guys. Have a good one. Peace, Andrea.
Bye, Andrea. Thank you so much, Mariella.
Oh, you're so welcome. And call me Madi.
Madi.
Yes,
okay.
Madi.
Gotcha.
All
gotcha.
Right. Those that are close
Bye-bye.
to me, call me Madi.
Okay. Andrea says, see you guys. Good night.
See you. Good night.
Bye. Uh-oh. I'm trying to end the broadcast. And the broadcast don't want to end me. What's going on, broadcast? Let me go. Let me go. Trying to end the broadcast. It won't stop because my internet is really messed up. Okay, let's try this again.
That's the spirit. Better luck next time. BW, watch this. Whoa! Oh, wait, that doesn't count. I get to go again. BW, don't push other students. You should apologize. We're sorry. Not you, boys. You haven't done anything wrong. We haven't?
Okay, where's my internet? It's acting up.
Otherwise, kids aren't gonna want to play with you.
Trying to end this. It won't end.
Move over.
Okay, let me try it now. Oh my God, my internet is acting like an asshole right now. Asshole internet.
Can you come out and play?
So if you guys are still there and just looking at me, just wait a minute. I'll be off in a minute.
Me first. Hey, that's not fair. I can't help it if you do it wrong. Can I play too?
Oh goodness, Lord have mercy. Come on, internet. What you doing? I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Oh, the internet won't let me go. I can't. It won't end the broadcast.
Mom said it's time for your gymnastics class.
What is going on?
It was awful. I was everywhere. Uh-oh.
Okay, let's try this again.
She's gonna hug the back. My turn. It helps if you hold your arms out more. That works for me. You got it.
And I'm still here.
Thanks, Teacher.
Y'all, I'm trying to end this broadcast. I promise you.